Hey y'all, have you ever felt like this? There's so much that needs to be done. I have this task list that is this long and I just can't get to everything and I'm feeling so overwhelmed. Can you relate to that at all? Like, has that ever been something you've dealt with in your life? Well, what I want to share with you guys is that there's some ways to overcome that. Part of it is through confidence and part of it is through joy. I'm Miss Amy May and I'm confidence coach for entrepreneurs, and I've got some secrets I'd like to share with you. It's been my experience as I've worked with different clients that we've found that sometimes there's some things that seem to be kind of common between various different entrepreneurs. And it doesn't even matter what it is that you do, what you're an entrepreneur for. Like, you could be a digital marketer, you could be a coach, you could have a shoe store, you could sell healthy vitamins, like any of the different things. But it seems like there are some traits that seem to be common in between, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about and be able to help you to be able to overcome some of those different things, to learn some different tools and tactics that will help you to be able to find more joy and more confidence in your life today. Something you can simply start now. And I don't know about you, but that's one of the biggest things with me. Somebody has something that they want to share with me, and then they just keep on going and talking and promising and yada, yada, yada. Listen, I want the tips now. I want the tricks now. I want you to tell me what to do. I don't want to wait. I don't want to go to do something later or whatever. I want to know now. And so I'm guessing that's exactly where you are in this moment. So let's get right into it. So, tip number 1. And you might think that this is a little bit crazy, but I'm going to tell you, find joy. I know, wait, what? Like, that's how you're going to overcome this huge list of tasks, of all the stuff you got to do? Miss Amy says find joy. So what? Really? But seriously, finding joy in what we're doing causes us to be elevated, be at a different energy level, and help us to be able to attack those tasks. When we're looking at it as something we have to do and things that have to get accomplished, and we're overwhelmed with how many different things that we need to do, if we stay there in that energy, we just feel that same thing, right? But if you can find joy in looking at the things that you have to do and maybe acknowledging that, hey, I'm going to be able to do this kind of quickly because I've learned recently how to do that. Or, wow, these 2 or 3 things, I can actually work on them together and get it done even faster. I'm not talking about multitasking. There's a whole myth about multitasking out there. Does it work? Does it not work? Yada, yada, whatever. I'm not talking about that, but I'm just saying that there's no reason why you can't put in AirPods and listen to an Audible while you're vacuuming the floor. Okay? Well, I mean, maybe we should take that back. I shouldn't say there's no reason, because, if you've got little children there at home and you need to be able to listen for them, one AirPod so you can listen for them, right? Because you don't want to, totally be ignoring them, okay? But, so what can you do to make it be joyful with what you're doing? Instead of just looking at this task and being, freaked out, how can you find joy in it? What can you have fun doing with it? Consider different ways to think outside of the box, right? Maybe you're not going to listen to Audible. Maybe you're going to have some music cranking and you're going to be dancing while you're vacuuming, and you're burning off energy and you're burning off calories and you're having fun and you're getting something accomplished, right? Now you might be sitting behind your desk and you're like, yo lady, vacuuming would be great. I'd love to be home getting my apartment or my house cleaned up, but right now I can't because I'm at work and I have this stack of stuff to do. Totally get it. So what can you do while you're working on that total task to help yourself to feel joy in what you're doing? And that's the thing, is to get creative and look into it. Now, there's a bazillion different ways to do it, and I could throw out all kinds of different things, but then we'd just be sitting here this whole time focused in this. So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're struggling to find joy in the tasks, in the things that you're doing, send me a message. Let me take a look at things with you, and I can help you to find ways to have joy in what you're doing. All right, so number 2. Remember, I said I was going to give you some various different tips. Look at the victory of getting that stuff accomplished. I know, it's like I have this task list. What victory is there in getting it done? I mean, I'm going to be glad that it's done. It has to get done. It's required. Oh, please stop looking at it that way. Look at that you get to do it. There are so many things that could be worse than whatever it is that you're doing right now, I would imagine. If there's not, well, then I do apologize, because whatever you're doing must really stink. But there are so many different ways that you can look at it as a victory that, A, you're able to do it. Guess what? You're alive, you're walking, you're talking, you have whatever it is that you're doing and that you're getting to do. So you can look at that and look for that victory of how it's going to feel when it's completed. Give yourself a reward. It doesn't have to be anything huge, for goodness sake. You're not going to buy yourself a new car just because you got all your tasks done at work. But hey, maybe that you don't buy yourself a Starbucks or whatever until you get that task completed, and then that's your reward for getting it, right? The other thing is, besides looking at and feeling the victory and feeling that reward of it, is to look at it in a way that this is something you get to do. That changes your mindset. It changes the energy. It changes everything. When we stop looking at things as we have to, and we start looking at things as we get to, all of a sudden it shifts the vibe. It shifts how we feel. And it's a definite win, and it's going to help you. And then we have the third thing. Told you there was more. The third one is confidence. What do I mean with confidence? When we have these things that we're doing, these tasks, there's a couple of different ways that we can look at them. It may be something that is new to us, that is different, and maybe we don't feel the confidence right off the bat. We'll deal with that one in a moment. But first, let's go to the confidence of the things that we do know how to do. Take the briefest of seconds and give yourself the accolades for knowing how to do that task. Look at that task and realize that there was a time that you didn't know how to do it, or that you didn't do it as efficiently as you do it now, that you didn't do it as fast as you do it now, that you didn't do it as well as you do it now. And give yourself that credit, that accolades. Put the positives into your bank account. Because what happens is, when we're putting those positives in there and we're looking at how good that we're doing, the things that we're doing, then when we come across something that we don't know how to do yet, now we're going to the other part. Remember, the things that you don't know how to do yet, or you're not as adept at yet, or whatever task that you haven't completed before, you're able to draw from those deposits of the positive that you put in with the things that you have learned. So instead of feeling overwhelmed and fear, like, oh my gosh, I've never tackled this spreadsheet before, or whatever that it is, pause for just the briefest of seconds and think about the deposits that you've made. Yeah, but look at how I've learned how to do this. Yeah, I'm doing this now much better. I do this a lot faster. And think about those things. And instead of having yourself feel nervous, scared, afraid, apprehensive, whatever else, you want to focus on feeling the goodness, the joy, and the confidence of what you've been able to accomplish before. It helps you to come in more confident in the new things that you're doing. So this is just 3 different ways that I have to share with you about how you can change things and how you go into your day, how it looks, and how you're able to accomplish the things. Turning it from being something that may have been something overwhelming, stressful, all of that, into actually confident moments of joy as you get to step in to do the things that you get to do. Make sense? So just a little rehash on that one. We have tip number 1, find joy. So to be able to attack your task, find the joy in that. Tip number 2 was to look at the victory. Make sure that you are looking at the end of the task at the victory of having it completed. And number 3 was for confidence, to feel that confidence as you're doing it. Remember, one of the things that I mentioned in here was about having those positive deposits into that positive account. As you look at the things you're able to do, the things you've been able to do, the things that you've learned to do, and depositing it, it's kind of like looking at your press clippings. It's taking that few minutes and looking at what you have overcome already, what you've learned to do already, and taking that and making it a positive deposit so you're able to pull from it whenever you need to. Guys, again, I'm Miss Amy May, Confidence Coach for Entrepreneurs. Please be sure to like and follow me, message me if you have any questions on this and how we can work on helping you implement this into your life so that you're able to march stronger into 2024, not so overwhelmed by all those tasks. Because remember, it's something you get to do.